It is 12:33 a.m. on Saturday, June 28th. A couple of things before I talk about what I want to talk about. Just played a game of Valorant. Played the new map. So confusing. Did not do incredibly well. We won, but goddamn, I was barely even. Barely even. um, I also just, for some reason, my most viewed video now on my channel is not some little creative thing that I did when I was in high school. It's now K-pop Demon Hunters, and I understand why that's the one it is, because everybody it's a buzzword right now, and I just thought the animation was really cool, and that's what made the movie good. I don't know, it's really funny. That's how it worked out. But the thing I want to talk about is that I've talked about how EDM is my music of choice. I love it. I mean, I've slowly moved away from the bedroom producer where it's no words, just music, and gone more into, I think technically the genre is melodic dubstep or future bass. But I mean, I love a little bit, I love the more, and it's usually based on vibes, the songs that are really based on vibes. And that's what I've been going to a lot, and a lot more emotional songs, I guess you would say. And I still check in on some of the artists that I really enjoyed back in the day, Fat Rat, Alan Walker. Alan Walker, some banger music, but started going in a different direction than I still really good music, but it's just not my particular cup of tea, I guess. I mean, the Fat Rat still making the music that he wants to make, which is great. Other ones, Tobu, another one. Every so often I go back and forth. It's just a lot of they've evolved along with my listening taste. But there's one artist which was my all-time favorite for a really long time. Their name is Electronomia. And I mean, you've definitely heard Sky High. That has been in all the, it's along with Unity, Spectre, all the background EDM nostalgia bait stuff. But Sky High is an NCS song that's pretty well known, I guess, in NCS from back in the day. And I loved Electronomia. I listened to all their songs. I would still say Glimmer is one of my favorite of all time, just because it has this emotional impact, which I don't know if it necessarily was intentional, but my God, it does. And so on and so on. I think I fell off of the track, I think at Summer Song 2019. But what I find really intriguing is that while the melodies are still the exact same as Electronomia used to make, and I loved all the time, when it was in the late 2010s, I can excuse the almost screechiness of the sounds used for the melodies, because it fit that era, and the music still there fits that era. I mean, Close to You is an amazing song. I already said Glimmer. Summer Song 2018, amazing. And there's a lot more variety in Sky High also, but a variety in what the sounds were and the vibes of each song. And now it I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to use this, but it's back in my day, it was a lot better. And I find it really weird how I like it so much more. I listen back to the songs, maybe I don't listen to them as much, but I still will go back and listen to them and be oh yeah, this is why I liked this song. But the new stuff they're putting out, while may have the same melodic structure, the sounds have devolved in a really odd way, to me at least. And I don't want to yuck somebody's yum, but because I would say that Electronomia was my favorite band of all time when I was younger. But it definitely got a lot more screechy, and it felt like we've gone back in time to almost the more post-dubstep era of EDM, and it got kind of weird. I'm not saying dubstep, but I mean the best way I can describe it is a lot more screechy. And the reason I'm talking about this is summer songs. And they used to do a thing where every summer they would release a song, and it would be the song Sound of the Summer, and it would be a summer song. And a lot of them were really good. They were great vibes. They were a lot different than their other work, because it was more based on it was just a lot different, a lot more guitar, a lot more acoustic, but really vibey. The new summer song kind of have hints to all of that, but it doesn't feel the same anymore. Like, and I know that, like, when you're looking through the eyes of nostalgia, the music or whatever you're looking at seems so much better, but it always has this weird, like, it felt like all the other artists I listened to when I was younger have progressed and evolved. Well, I think Electronomia has gone a little bit back in time into something which I don't actually even care to listen to anymore. I have not listened to and liked one of their songs. I think their latest song that I technically like is Sky High Part 2, because it created a really interesting spin on the original Sky High, where the original Sky High was a lot more jumpy. This one's a little bit more dark and compressed, especially because it came in the COVID era, and I thought it really fit very, very well. But now it's just like, it's missing a little bit of the nuance. Like, I'll come back to Glimmer, where I've talked about how I use Glimmer as a metric to see how emotionally unstable I am. And it always comes down, like, because to me, Glimmer feels like an outbreak. It starts off slow and long suspensions, and then they finally resolve at the end, and it goes on, and then it builds and builds, and it gets to a part, and it's not, the first build up and the first drop is not necessarily a drop, I guess you would say, but it builds up, and then it starts going, and it keeps building up. It's quiet again, and then it keeps going a little bit more, and right before the actual, what I call like an explosion, it's silence, and then it hits with the hard part and has this like very fast paced notes, a lot louder, and then a little, and it goes like on like it go line 1 and 3 goes 1 2 3 4. 1 and 3 at the end has a little dubstep distortion, which fits so perfectly with the thematic vibe of the song, where I always feel it as an emotional explosion when you can't take it anymore. And it's like has this like little bit of nuance. And while the other songs never had like that, I guess, feeling for me, it always had this little, like, it fit the theme. There was something really interesting going on. Like, there was this really cool section in Conflict and in Glimmer where at the last chorus section, it would have a note that was really high kind of in the background that just held out through each of the lines, and it would change like 4 or 5 times, and it's just not enough just to like hear, and it doesn't necessarily add a lot to the like actual listening experience, like hearing wise, but then you pick on it and it creates like this little bit of dissonance between the notes because it's holding steady while the other ones are moving, and it creates this really cool feeling. Or like the summer songs, where it creates a totally different vibe. Sky High 2, which creates a little bit more intense twist on Sky High. And like Spark, Fire, like all of them are just so unique in a way that like time, like there's Journey has a key change and it works so well and has all these nuances within the music, but now it's kind of become simplified and generic, and it's become like 2010 nostalgia sounding music, but it's not the nostalgia that I listen to. It's before my time when it came to listening to EDM. So it's really unfortunate that like I'm at the age now where I look back and I'm like, oh, it was better back in my day, because I don't say that a lot of things. Like everything that I've done and pretty much do has improved as I get going and going and going, except for this one artist that is really unfortunate, because if it was just somebody that I listened to maybe 1 or 2 times and I don't listen to anymore, then it would be fine. But they were my favorite artist of all time, when in probably from 2014 to 2018, it was definitely one of my favorite artists. And it's disappointing to me to see how much potential that they kind of threw away. I'm not saying it's like, I don't want to yuck somebody's yum and all this, but because they definitely are doing exactly what they want to do. People are enjoying the music. they released a label altogether. But it's just something that is really annoying to me because going back and listening to the music, it was much more complex and cool. Even now, when I don't necessarily listen to that genre of EDM anymore, it still is really fun to listen back and to be like, oh yeah, this one is cool and I liked this because of this. Now, currently, I can't find anything to like about the music. It's just not my vibe anymore. And it's just really, really annoying for me because all the other artists that I listened to changed in some way for the better, for them or for the music community itself. Like, I may miss the old Fat Rat, like Unity and Sunshine, but his new music creates a little bit more, like Hiding in the Blue is great. While it may not be exactly my cup of tea, I can see what I would like about it. Like the songs that I like See You Again. Or they're good songs. I'd still say Monody is probably his best, but it's still producing good songs. Like Alan Walker, while I may not entirely like listening to the European house music, I can see why I like it. It's still the drum has a really cool melodic path. But I just don't like the chorus or the instrumental chorus, and that's fine. I can see why I like it, but Electronomia, I can't see why I like it anymore, and that's just really frustrating. From the point of again, them being one of my favorite artists back in the day, and I hate that it's back in my day stuff, but that's just one thing because listening to their summer song of 2025. I can hear the hints of the music that they once were, but then it just isn't, it doesn't have that much of an impact anymore, and it just now sounds making music. It's not this intricate wave of violins that create this emotional suspension in Glimmer. It's simplified and generic and reminiscent of an age that I don't listen to anymore, which is again really, really frustrating. But maybe in the future they'll make music that I like, and it's not I'm distraught that I can't listen to songs like that back in the day. I definitely have changed my music taste where I don't listen to the old Electronomia songs as my in rotation songs, and so that's okay that I don't like to listen to it anymore, but it's just a little unfortunate where I feel like they have gone back in time when it comes to the EDM scene. But I have a lot of other music to listen to. I have a lot more artists that I've discovered that I enjoy immensely more, like Sabai, Beos, Hoang, a lot more that more melodic dubstep type, which again is something I found a lot more interested in because I think it can. I mean, the songs by those artists tend to be a little bit more emotionally optimistic, even though they have really sad lyrics, and I like the little dubstep parts because it can add a little darker tone or a little bit more depth between the happy high melodic and then that heavy bass. Oceans by Trivecta has really cool little dubstep da da dun dun, and then it goes into an actual melodic synth wave vibe, not synth wave, but sound, and it's like a chord going through, and then it separates it by those, and it has a really cool you get to and you're da da dun da da dun and it's really cool. So I guess I like that a little more. And that's okay about it. It's unfortunate, but time goes on.